Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first ever video on YouTube, and I'm quite excited about the fact that finally I could overcome all the voices in my head and I'm doing this. I actually had been meaning to do this for quite some time now, but there was always something or the other which kept on coming, and I could not undertake this project. And I feel most of us, we undergo this process of voices literally screaming in our head, of stopping us from undertaking any project, any tasks of which we do not know the results of. And that is precisely what I was undergoing. It's been what, like I had been meaning to do this since 6 months, last 6 months, but I could not bring myself to just pick up the camera and start recording. And one of the things that helped me in this process was a piece of work by Elizabeth Gilbert. I do not know how many of you know of Elizabeth Gilbert. She's an amazing writer. Her writing generally revolves around as in the piece of work that I read revolved around creativity, people who are involved in creative work and how the creatives over a period of time, they start suffocating themselves. So there was a very beautiful passage in one of her works that I read wherein she talked about fear, and the moment I read it, it just clicked, and I was like, probably that is what is happening with me, and probably that is what I now need to do, what she had suggested. So, in that book, she said that all of us, we have to consider our journey uh, in our journey of life as if we're driving down the road, right? And we're sitting in our bus or car or whatever vehicle of choice, you'd like to choose for yourself. So, but the idea here is that you are the driver, you're sitting in the driver's seat. And that fear, that vulnerable voice, it's like that child who's sitting at the back seat. You have tried your best to tuck in the child very comfortably in the back seat so that whenever you hit a ditch or whenever you hit a bump on the road or the speed breaker on the road, the child doesn't fall. The child is well taken care of. So you have tried your best in that respect. However, the child is a child. So whenever something unknown comes up or whenever a hitch comes in, the child has to and not to scream. But then the idea here is that fine, you just have to acknowledge that scream. Okay, you cannot get scared by the screaming child, and obviously, certainly, you cannot give the driver's wheel to the child. So just acknowledge, just pacify the kid that it's okay, it's all right. We will pass by, we'll make through. This is just a part of our journey, and that's about it. That's about it. Fear is that child sitting in the back seat. Treat that child like that. And that was like such a moment of epiphany. I was like, wow, this is such an amazing thing. So, whenever you, or even for me for that matter, now that is the philosophy I have made for my life. That if I know it will uh, warn me, fear has that thing of forewarning you because it is a survival instinct. It is because of this instinct that we have something called the sixth sense. So it'll always try to help you in the process of survival. And whenever you're undertaking a new project or whenever you come across certain situations in your life, which are so uncertain, you feel fearful, you feel vulnerable, which is absolutely all right. It's natural. It will happen. Just acknowledge it that it's happening because it has to happen. But then now, how do you deal with it is completely in your hands. And that thing really helped me. So I overcame my vulnerability of making videos because you know what? It actually is quite daunting, you know, to put yourself out there on social media, specifically in this format, you know, wherein you're trying to talk to people and obviously you're putting a piece of your being out there. So it was quite daunting, but I've begun my journey. I am going to enjoy my journey. And thank you if you're watching this video. Thank you so much. On this channel, particularly, I would be posting such content, you know, which is positive and it is uplifting, and content which sort of gives you a food for thought, and you know, so that you can think of certain things of life in general. So that is exactly what I'll be posting in here. And thank you so much if you've made it through this far, and if you'd like to be a part of this journey, I welcome you aboard. Thanks a ton for your time. See you next time. Take care.